Okay, so behind us here is a building site. No, it's not a building site. There may as well be one. Right now, this is in the region of £80 million for a maintenance programme. And if you think that's crazy, it's going to take them 11 years to complete it. 11 years. So we'll go inside and see if anything's changed. At least people are actually working on it. There's your opening hours, if you ever do intend on coming. Now, Kelvingrove first opened in 1901 and it has 22 galleries covering everything from fine art in ancient Egypt to wildlife. So we'll go around and have a wee look at those. I do believe last time I came here there was a Spitfire plane hanging from the ceiling, so we'll see if that's still here. Now, would you believe if I said a famous Glasgow legend claimed that the museum was accidentally constructed back to front? Apparently the grand entrance was meant to face the Kelvingrove Park. Not too sure who the famous Glasgow legend was. Right, so here's the plane that I actually remember from quite a good few years ago. You're maybe talking over 10 years ago since I was here. Maybe longer actually, I think. And that's a Spitfire LA-198. It was actually built in 1944. It is a Mark 21 Spitfire with a Rolls-Royce engine. Now that is a 5-bladed propeller and it actually served with Glasgow's own 602 Squadron between 1947 and 1949. Now this gallery opened in 1901, so it has stood the test of time. Now the building site that you would have saw when we came in has actually been taking place since September 2025, so there's still a long time to go before it's fully fixed. Kelvingrove closed for 3 years during the early 2000s for a major restoration and refurbishment, costing approximately £28 million. It reopened in July 2006 with its collections reorganised into a board theme of life and expression. Kelvingrove celebrates its 125th anniversary in 2026. The building first opened its doors on the 2nd of May 1901 as part of Glasgow's International Exhibition. The present building was not Glasgow's first Kelvingrove Museum. An earlier museum operated inside Kelvingrove House, an 18th century mansion that stood slightly east of the current building. It became Glasgow's first municipal museum in the early 1870s. One particular unusual painting is La Farouk Madonna. It was painted with oil on old flour sacks by Italian prisoners of war at La Farouk camp in North Africa and was presented to a British captain. Glasgow Museums cares for approximately 400 European and American musical instruments, including Scottish bagpipes and military drums. The collection also includes instruments associated with Glasgow entertainers, including Billy Connolly. Now I actually remember these from last time, and it doesn't take a genius to work it out, but these are called the floating heads, and there's over 50 of them. Some of them with sad faces and happy faces. quite amusing. More than 1.2 million people visited during 2025. Kelvingrove recorded 1,219,831 visits, an increase of around 3% compared with the previous year. Now, nothing says history like Barbie. As you explore the museum, you can move from ancient Egyptian artefacts and European masterpieces to displays about Scottish wildlife, Glasgow's history, and the people who helped shape the city. Another well-known resident is Sir Roger, the museum's famous Asian elephant, who has become one of Kelvingrove's most popular and recognisable exhibits. The museum's collection tells stories from many different periods of history, while exploring Glasgow's industrial past, artistic achievements and connections with the wider world. Kelvingrove is home to a fascinating mixture of art, history, science and natural world exhibits, making it much more varied than a traditional art gallery. Kelvingrove is the kind of museum where visitors can spend hours exploring, yet still leave feeling that there is much more to discover. Best of all, general admission is free, allowing both local people and the visitors to experience one of the city's greatest cultural treasures. Long before this magnificent building opened, Glasgow's original Kelvingrove Museum was housed in an old mansion nearby. That house was eventually demolished despite public opposition to make way for the international exhibition and the museum we see today. And that brings us to the end of our visit to Kelvingrove Art Gallery and Museum. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed exploring Kelvingrove and perhaps learned something new along the way. If you could be so kind to like and subscribe, that would be really appreciated. Until next time, bye for now.